What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Julian again. He's back. Actually, never left. We just I cheated, so he's twice on the channel this week or during a week. Let's say during a week. This time, completely different. Kind of set him up because I asked him the question, or I told him we're gonna record a video about Tudor and his ideas of play, but I'm gonna switch it up a little bit. I'm gonna put you on the spot. I'm gonna ask you two scenarios, and you need to. I think you know the vibe. You just need to convince me and the public, even if you don't believe it, why Tudor can win the Scudetto or finish out of the top four. Those are the two scenarios, and you need to tell me. Yeah, so in the first scenario, you need to convince me and the public why you can actually win the Scudetto or compete, whatever you want to call it. Let's say compete, Let's say compete. And then after you try that and we talked about it, I will flip it and you need to convince me why we're just going to we're going to fall out of the top four with Tudor. Before we get into it, people, hit the like button because I always forget to say that during a podcast.
Yeah.
Subscribe to the channel as always. And then the floor is for Julian. Convince me first why we can win the Scudetto or compete with Tudor, and let's assume he gets the quote-unquote targets. The holes in the squad get filled. You get a left-footed center back. You get the midfielder. Forget about the name, just the position. You convince me.
All right. So, Igor Tudor is winning us the Scudetto 2025-2026 because Napoli have a lot of injuries. Napoli have Champions League to deal with, and Antonio Conte can handle it. Inter have dropped off completely, and Igor Tudor's had no injuries. Bremer's back fit. Bremer's back firing on all cylinders. We got our left center back, like you said, at a high standard. Obviously, not the best, but high standard. That works well with Bremer. And that defensive unit, those three, and the wing backs are very cohesive. Going forward, I trust that Yildiz can score or can create the goals, and we got Colomboani back, and we got another number 10 that's very creative as well and who can score goals and pitch in. Thuram's taking a step forward in his play. He's aged up a bit. He has experience in Serie A. Why are you laughing?
No, keep going.
I'm going to keep going. Locatelli, he's a stalwart back there. He's commanding. He's making the defense all, like I said, tight-knit group. No injuries is key. Di Gregorio is obviously Di Gregorio, with the best goalie at the World Club Cup. We saw that, and his form continues. And then we have depth on the bench. So let's say we got Chico Conceição to come off the bench because we got a proper 10 in the fold. We have Jonathan David up there as more help. Vlahovic isn't going to stink up the gaff and score less than 10 goals, right? We have David and Colomboani there. The wing backs we're gonna fix. Alberto Costa, maybe he leaves, maybe he doesn't, but we're going to fix that area of the pitch to make it more defensively sound. And like I said, there's going to have to drop off from a couple other teams, and we won't tie as much because it's almost physically impossible to tie as much as we did.
Okay.
So that is my pie in the sky thought process of how we're going to win the Scudetto.
How much of what you say do you believe?
I do think our attack's going to be not bad if we get these players in. I think it's not going to be like an eyesore like it was under Allegri at the tough stages in the trenches. Like I think Yildiz taking another step because I think he actually is. He's not going to be like that 8 goals, 4 assists kind of guy. He's going to take that next step and get them over 20 GA and take over games, more importantly. I think Colomboani offers and David offer balance and flexibility across the front line attack. They can do more than just the number 9 role. They can help out everywhere. So I think our attack is going to be fluid and decent. My main gripe, I think everyone's main gripe, will be the defense and how we set up and if we can be a cohesive unit. With Bremer back, and again, firing on all cylinders like he was pre-injury, our defense was the best defense in Serie A.
Yeah, before
it was like 8 games or 9 games or whatever, but we only let 1 goal in against PSV. Right?
Yeah. At that time, yeah.
Yeah, at the time. And we haven't lost anybody, and we're expecting to gain another good player. A decent, a better player than Lloyd Kelly. We'll put it that way. And it is a system change, right? Like we're playing 3 or 5, depending on when we have the ball, when we don't. Like 3-5-2, you get the wing backs creating a 5 at the back when we don't have the ball. So I think obviously Cambiasso has his warts defensively. We know Costa does, but we are assuming Costa's out, and we're going to replace him with someone decent, someone that Tudor probably has a say on, right? So I think
I'm assuming,
yeah.
if you move Costa, yeah.
If you have enough time, if you get this wing back in and you have a decent preseason with him and you create a unity back there, it all starts back there. Because we saw against good teams that like to attack, we can handle it with those current players. And all starts with them. If we have a good backline and Tudor coaches it and implements that whatever he wants and a good defensive mindset, we have a chance.
Okay, so no, on a serious note, I mean, there's a lot of ifs, like you said. If he can stay fit, and if Napoli gets injured players and whatever, because Conte now needs to play 2 games a week, which is going to play a big part. Like it is what it is, but still, like it's Conte, and he won the league, so he's a favorite right now. And Inter did change. Napoli, Milan changed, Roma changed, Atalanta changed. So you don't even know how it's going to be better for them.
Yeah,
it's going to be like you're assuming it cannot be worse for Milan, for example.
That's true.
I thought Roma finished extremely strong, obviously under Ranieri. Are they gonna replicate that with Gasperini, even top that as well? It's new coach, new things. Like there's so many question marks, so it can all play into Tudor's hand, maybe a little bit as well. But on a realistic note, like I think that's the question I want to ask. Out of the top teams, and now with top teams, I mean the top 8 or 10, like throw Fiorentina and Atalanta in. So it's Milan,
7.
Inter, Juve, Lazio, Roma, even Atalanta, even Bologna 8. At this stage. Bologna 9. As well. Fiorentina, those teams.
Yep.
Where you rank Tudor when it comes just pure coach? Forget about
the coach.
Teams they have. As a coach compared to the other.
Everybody's got a new coach, so I gotta remember who's there. So Conte obviously better than Tudor, right?
Yeah.
Kivu, I don't think so because he doesn't have the experience yet. And we saw the Club World Cup; they stunk. Like they were a bad team. So I think I'll give Tudor the props over Kivu right now. Allegri, maybe with Milan, he gets a tune out of them, but we know what happened here. It was not great. I don't know if he's lost it, but I'll give it to Allegri now because, of course, the accolades. Gasperini, I'll give it to Roma. He's better than Tudor. Who's Fiorentina? Pioli, right?
Pioli.
Yeah, I'll take Tudor over Pioli, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah, I know Pioli won a Scudetto, but like I think you said years ago, you're like, you can't believe they won with that squad. I think Serie A was just so bad at that season that they won. Atalanta has Juric, right?
Yeah.
Tudor is better than Juric, so you got that. So he's 3rd right now. No, 4th. Lazio is Lazio Sarri still? Is he still there? Is he going to leave tomorrow? Or what's, okay.
For now he's staying.
That situation, I just picked Tudor still because that situation is so volatile. I have no idea what's going on there. They can't even buy players. So I was sorry to even crazy. Do anything. And then Bologna has Italiano, right? Still? He stayed. Yeah. Okay. I think Italiano is a little bit better, especially in that situation where he has a week to prepare for games and they didn't make Europa League, right?
Yeah, well, they won the Coppa Italia. They're in Europe.
Oh, so that that guarantees. Okay, so then there you go.
They did. They also played.
And they're selling the center
back.
Season. Yeah, they're selling. Oh yeah, that's right. But they didn't finish top. When they played Champions League, where they finished? They finished like 8th or something, right?
Yeah. They finished like the bottom.
Yeah.
And they finished. I think they finished 9th or something.
And it looks like they're having a complete retool, especially defensively.
Yeah,
like Buchma is already gone. And you told me last video that Lukumi has a 25 million release clause, so I think he's going to be gone too. So I'm just going to put him to the side because his squad isn't as good as Tudor's. So I'll just do that. So I think he's a top 4 coach.
Okay. So, I mean, you don't like when I talk about Juve, I want to say he's the top coach. Like that should be the thing. Like he's the best coach
Yeah,
in
of
the league. We have the
course.
best coach in the league.
Yeah.
That's frustrating. For me, that's frustrating. But let's flip it now, the question, and convince the fans because, I mean, to be honest, the most people on this channel, the big part of the biggest portion, actually everyone. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
It is what it is. We, whatever, the people I have on the channel, they come on. Most of them who have a different opinion never come on for some reason. But most fans who watch this channel are, I think, real. I will call them real, and they have a certain standard, and I'm
like
happy,
a show me. Yeah, show me.
Like this is a standard. Prove it to me. No sugarcoating. Not if we have two wins, we go all overboard and crazy.
Yeah.
So convince and the few who still are like, you're too negative, we're gonna win or whatever, why we're not even getting top 4 with Tudor.
A big one will be injuries to key players. Like I'm gonna knock on a lot of wood here. Knock on wood. Like Kenan Yildiz gets hurt. Kefren Turam gets hurt, or Locatelli gets hurt and these are sustained injuries for a long time.
Yeah.
The new players, like what if Bremer doesn't recover? That's a big one. That's a great possibility too, right? Di Gregor is a 1-season wonder in net. We don't fill in, or the new signings don't fulfill their potential like last year, like a bunch of them last year didn't. You know what I mean? We don't sell a lot of the deadwood, and they're just there. And Tudor's like, okay, I'm going to play you, and he has mental breakdowns. Because Tudor could be a volatile guy himself too. Like, let's not kid ourselves for a second. Like he can speak when he wants to. Like he speaks his mind. All those Balkan people do out there, Croatians and Serbians and all of them. It could turn ugly pretty quick. Like our offense couldn't, or our attackers might not gel. I don't like again. I actually do think they will. Like in the first segment, I was actually being genuinely serious when I was like, I don't mind our attack, especially if we get another good 10 or a good player to be with Osimhen or Kolomoani, David, and Yildiz. So I think our attack's gonna be good. But in the event it isn't, no goals, we're gonna tie a bunch of games again.
Yeah, by default. Almost.
And maybe our 2-man pivot midfield gets run over every game. Maybe Yildiz and the other 10 don't help out the midfield, and then Thuram and Locatelli get hurt. Or let's say they get one of those midfielders to come in that we were talking about in the previous video, like a Rios, even though I just seen he's probably gonna go to Russia, it looks like.
Really?
Zenit just offered 30 million for him, but whatever.
Oh,
the player rejected it. But he said yes to Roma. Oh, shoot. That's not good for us. But yeah, like for example, our midfield gets overrun every game because we don't have the trackers back or the players to track back or whatever. Maybe Cambiaso just doesn't get back to form. Right? All these things could happen again. Like and it at one point under Thiago Motta, everything bad was happening at one point.
Yeah.
Thus he got fired. We lost to PSV. We got smashed 3-0. We got smashed 4-0. The players, like you've mentioned this so many times, the players have been given 2 coaches in the past 3 years that they've given up on collectively. It's the mentality thing. Or why would they not give up on Tudor if things don't go well?
Oh, for sure they will. Like they will throw him under the bus.
Let's say first game of the season, you tie Parma 1-1 because the ball hit the divot wrong and went in. And then everyone starts questioning the players, and then they give up on the coach again. That could definitely happen again.
Oh yeah, if you keep a big part of this team together,
100%
it will happen. It will.
Like doomsday is injuries and the players giving up mentally again on another coach.
I agree.
If you don't have key injuries, or like the injuries last more than 2 weeks, and the players are like they just get a spine for once, this team is going to finish top 4 minimum. Even
It
last year,
should.
it was so bad last year. They still finished top 4, even though
It
it was the
should
last
get
game of
top
the
4.
season. Yeah, you know what I mean. So like Tudor himself, yes, he's not the best coach in the league. Obviously, not the worst coach, but you don't know. He could fall down. I don't believe he'll reach Conte, but I can definitely believe he'll fall to a Juric level. Don't you?
I think it's more likely, yeah.
So
And that's
yeah,
fair to say. It's more
yeah,
likely
yeah,
because I think the difference between him and Conte is much bigger than him and Juric. So
exactly.
it's more
That was my
likely
point.
that it's going to go that way. Is there something you absolutely dislike about Tudor? Because it's sample
Yeah,
size is short, like 9 games in a couple. He doesn't change things when it's clear it's not working.
yeah.
It frustrates the hell
That's
out.
the biggest.
When I
That's the
watched the
biggest
Real
thing.
Madrid game, players were
Yeah,
dropping like as flies. And it's like Kostic, go out there and
left wing
I don't
back.
know
Yeah,
what the idea was. I'm like, it's not working with players playing actually natural position, whatever. And now
yeah,
you're chucking in players who are doing things they cannot do, definitely
yeah,
not can do. And you're ready. We're playing with players who cannot do it. I'm like, change it up. Like
yeah,
switch to back four, do something. He doesn't do that. And for me, when a coach doesn't do that, unless you are unbelievable talented, Pep Guardiola, and you have an unbelievable squad, you will get it right at one point. They will click at
yeah,
one point, probably. We are not in that situation. When I'm looking at it, I'm like, these players are not going to bail you out. You're going to need to bail the players out by coming up with something different when it's not
yeah,
working. And for me, from what I've seen, Venezia, for example, that game was horribly prepared. Like
yeah,
I cannot believe we got away with a win. I still cannot believe
yeah,
we got away with a win because a slightly better team than Venezia, and we would have conceded a couple in that first half.
yeah. We should have
We
conceded
would,
almost 5. Like Di Gregorio again is the guy.
yeah. That game was for the magnitude of the game, and people are like,
Yep,
oh, he got top 4. I'm like, can people not see how close it was to failing
disaster.
miserably? Yeah, to
Yeah,
disaster because it was prepped poorly, and when it was going poorly, nothing really changed. I'm like, dude, do
yeah,
some. I mean something. And this far for me, that's an extremely worrying. That's my biggest, worrying sign when it comes to Tudor. When things go tough, and
yeah,
it could be like you said, you don't beat Parma, for example. I don't know with the second game. I think the third game is Inter or something
yeah. Third
like
game's
that.
Inter. Yeah,
Yeah. So let's say you don't win the first game, maybe you win the second, and you lose to Inter. It's like 3-4 points out of 9, and then what? What is not working? Can you change it up? Is it like that? For me, is the biggest worry when it comes to that. I don't have full trust that he can figure things out when they're not working,
yeah.
and it's clear that it's not working.
No,
That's it.
that's the main gripe. What was again? I always go back to when we first or you first started the channel. And I was on regularly, and I was like, "What's Max doing? He's not changing anything. And when he does change something, it's not the formation, and it's not even the right subs. The coach has so many like you can prepare all week, right?
Yeah.
For example, the Leipzig game against or the Juventus against Leipzig when Bremer tore his ACL, and then Nico Gonzalez went off like 2 minutes later because he got hurt. You can't prepare for those things. That's when you know. That's when a coach gets his money. You can prepare all week, like I said, or 3 days, whatever, because we got Champions League, we got Coppa Italia, whatever. You got 3 days to prepare. Let's say. What are you going to do when you concede in 30 seconds? Are you going to stay the course? Well, you should probably for a bit, but if it's not working after that, you got to adapt quickly.
Yeah.
And he doesn't do that. Like the Venezia game, great example. When we tied, who did we tie? And we should have won at the very, I think it was Roma or Bologna.
Bologna, we shouldn't have won. Oh, like the Bologna one, we should have won. Actually, the way the game was going.
It was Bologna or Roma. One of those two. We were doing well, but we left gaps. We kept leaving gaps open. I'm like, we're up 1-0. This is a critical game against a competitor for Europe. Just let's change it. Let's hunker down and kill the game. Bring someone else on. And again, do you have the right players for that? Do you trust the players? Because he just got there, right? He just got there? Did he have full trust in all the players yet? Probably not, and I get it. Like I coach 8-year-old girls, and I don't have trust in some of the players, but I play them still because you got to, you just got to. I'm not comparing obviously 8-year-old girls to Juventus, where you get paid millions of dollars, but at some point when you when you need something to happen, you got to trust it, because obviously you didn't trust it and you got scored on still, and you dropped your points, and the people with balls usually win.
I agree. I do. Like,
People
that's
with balls
my biggest
usually
fear.
win. Yeah, like Enzo Maresca on Sunday, he had balls to do what he did.
Yeah,
he pressed PSG. One of the like Vitinha and João Neves and Fabio Ruiz, like three of the most technical midfielders in the world, and he pressed the shit out of them with his tanks in midfield, and they didn't have a sniff of the ball for the first 20 minutes. That took balls, man.
Yeah, because it could back, like, even even the defense like Gyökeres and the other
Caldwell and Gusto.
The way they like the moment they played out from the back, like in a split second they were there. Yeah, maybe it was harsh at time, and they picked up a yellow card, all of them at one point almost.
Yep.
But it is what it is. That was, like you said, it's brave, and it could backfire. It could break out once very early, and you can see, and maybe they should have conceded very early. When they laid it down, if you took a shot, maybe it's 1-0, different game. But at one point, I think Maresca was like, if we're not going to do that, we're going to lose, period. So we're going to do this. And if it works, it works. And it did work. And PSG had no clue what was going to happen. But you can go into that game. You're like, you know what? We're going to sit back a little bit. You lose that game. 100% you lose that game. There's no chance. Probably in the first half, it's over. Other way around. So I agree. Like, at one point, you're going to need to make certain decisions. And that is my biggest question mark when it comes to Tudor. More than, is he better than Conte and whatever? No, he's not. But if he's not going to be brave, or if he's not going to change things when things need to be changed, he's not going to step away from his beliefs, you might say.
Yeah.
It's going to fail. It's going to be a disaster season again. That's my biggest fear right now. And I want to back him. And obviously, I'm going to back him. Like, first game of the season, I'm not going to say, I hope he loses so we can change early on. Like, no. Win. Like, just win.
Yeah.
But in the back of my mind, I'm like, yeah, I mean, at one point,
you got to prove it, bud.
You're going to need to prove it.
And something's got to change in the next 3 weeks, right?
Yeah.
Because, again, and the Real Madrid game, the Man City game, he didn't change anything. He didn't have the balls to do it. And I get it. The squad is different, and it's going to be probably a little bit different with players that he trusts, quote unquote, because he's going to be the one helping or in conversation with Comoli and with I don't know, I guess Tognozzi or whoever the other guy, Modesto, whatever. He's going to be in conversation with those guys to get the players that will help him. So he better be brave. But I have a hard time seeing that happen in 3 weeks. A mindset.
I agree. Like, it's
but maybe again,
easy.
Maybe again, the contract extension puts his mind at ease. I don't know. But I'm very speculative like you are, because he's not done it. Even at Marseille, he rarely did it. And there's pressure at Marseille, no doubt about it. Like, those fans are nuts. And that board expectation, they're high. But again, it's France. You're going to lose to PSG. Like, you're going to be second in that league, and it is what it is. Yeah. So there are expectations there. But he didn't really have the balls to do it, to change anything. I forget his time at Lazio too. I don't even know if he did it there.
I mean, he's a guy, I will give him that. He sets standards. And if the club is like, no, we're not going to do that, then he's like, okay, then I cannot work, with this. So I do rate that. And any person, if he's like, that's my standards, and the club might say, actually, you don't value, like, you don't validate anything to set that standard. That's fair. The club can say that, but he's like, that's it for me. If it's a no, then it's a no. Then we move on, I guess. So I'll give him that, but at one point, that's my thing. You need to fix up, because it's not going to go smoothly, and you need to find a way to, navigate through very difficult times. Like, that's you're getting paid. You're the coach of Juve. That's the job. Like,
that's your dream job. That's his dream job.
Yeah, I mean, at Verona, if you don't do that, nobody gives it, a toss. Probably not the board. You keep them in Serie A, and they're cool with it.
Yeah.
But this is different. And if the standards are back, as they should be at a club, if you fail, you're gone, And
Thiago Motta saw that. He lasted 29 games.
Yeah.
Sorry, I guess more Champions League, but whatever.
With the Champions
League. 40 games,
But that's it. If you don't perform, you're out. So,
let's
see. And that's my biggest fear. But you You gave it a shot. So people in the
Gave it a
chat, let me
shot.
know.
Are
Let
you
me know
convinced?
if he. Oh yeah, are you convinced?
Everything went perfectly this season. Everything went perfectly, and 3 teams were even worse than last year. They all fell off.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
That's what needs to happen.
That basically is what needs to happen. Yeah.
Yeah.
People in the chat, let me know. Let Julian know if he convinced you. In both cases, of if you were like, no, we're not going to win the title, did he convince you we potentially could? If you were one of those, actually we can win it, did he convince you that we're not going to win it? He's actually right. Let us know. Like the video, subscribe. Julian, thanks for coming on. People will get 2 videos.
Yeah.
Only we
Double dip.
recorded 1, but people will get 2 this week / next week, depends on when I will drop it. But yeah, people, that's it. Hit the like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll speak to you guys tomorrow.